Shocking things are happening around the world, and people have managed to capture those unbelievable events.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
So today we are going to witness these unexplainable videos.
It's right there. Yes, it is. No, it's not. I guarantee it, Veronica. Look at it.
Mysterious sightings and baffling moments, unlike anything you've ever seen before. In this mysterious clip, there were hundreds of flashing lights in the dark clouds above a city in America. The footage was posted 9 months ago, and the uploader couldn't provide much information, and you'll see why. The video shows these mysterious flashes covering the night sky, and they are constantly moving over this unknown neighborhood somewhere in America. The camera even pans to show the scale of this mysterious incident, and these flashes can be seen over the horizon. Like I said earlier, there isn't much information, but according to the comments, these are drones that are part of Project Bluebeam, meant to manipulate and control the American public. What makes it suspicious is that no news channel covered this, and no explanation was ever given. Unbelievable capture.
Oh, yeah, look at this. This is cool. There's the spaceship, you see it?
In Trout Lake, Washington, USA, an unsuspecting man captured footage of something extraordinary hiding in plain sight. Right there among the clouds was a faint triangular shape, almost invisible, and it was flying just above the man, as he urged his wife to come and look. This cloaked flying craft had lights underneath it, which is why some people think this might not be a UFO, but actually TR-3B Black Manta, a rumored top-secret aircraft using highly advanced technology. The footage alone is chilling, but reactions from a few netizens was also very creepy.
It's right there. Yes, it is. No, it's not. I guarantee it, Veronica. Look at it. No, that's what me. Look at it. Holy crap.
As they believe humans may have worked with aliens to make this peculiar ring of light. This visual was captured in Italy that showed a glowing white circle that appeared out of nowhere, just hanging in the sky. It wasn't drifting like a cloud, and it didn't scatter like mist. It just stayed there. People nearby were stunned, unsure what they were even looking at. When the footage spread online, some were convinced it was a portal, a doorway into another world. Our idea of other worlds mostly comes from movies, and not many people have seen these portals. So after finding out that this happened near Mount Etna in Sicily, it's possible this was caused by volcanic mountains called volcanic vortex rings. However, the shape and movement is very strange. Fiery sky orb. Fire doesn't just appear out of thin air, but that's exactly what seemed to happen here. Captured in Arizona, USA 2 years ago, a glowing, fiery bubble suddenly formed in the sky, burning bright before vanishing just as quickly as it came. What's weird is that there was no smoke, so nothing was burning, and it was the sun because its shape was changing, and after some time, it disappeared. The strange sight left people torn between explanations. Some think it was a secret weapon test, while others lean towards something paranormal. With so little information, no one can say for sure what really happened. Sky vortex.
Finally, something in Anaheim happened.
Delivered by the emergency alert system.
In this unsettling clip that was recorded on 1st January 2025, a massive tornado-shaped cloud formed over a field. The area was in Kansas, but the exact location wasn't mentioned in the post.
What the
There was a huge dark cloud that had orange lights inside of it, and if you look closely, they slowly get brighter from top to bottom, like an engine. The zoomed-out version shows how far off this enigmatic cloud was, yet it still looked unbelievably huge. Because of how strange it was, many people said it was Project Bluebeam. Full circle rainbow. A few months ago, photographer Don Delson was flying in a doorless helicopter over Hawaii when he caught something incredible on camera. His first ever 360-degree rainbow. From about 2,000 feet up, the entire rainbow formed a perfect circle right around the aircraft. Now, most of us only ever see rainbows as arcs. That's because standing on the ground, the horizon cuts off the bottom half. But when you're up high, like in a plane or helicopter, nothing blocks the view. You can see the rainbow forming a perfect circle with all the available colors. And since he was so high up, the sunlight interacts with raindrops from every angle, bending and reflecting in just the right way. And the result is a complete glowing ring. Sky Pyramid. This clip was filmed somewhere in America when lightning and dark clouds had taken over the city skies. However, something other than natural was caught on camera, because when the lightning flashes, you can actually see this massive dark shape sitting above the clouds. And it's not just a random blur either. It's sharp, solid, and shaped like an upside-down pyramid just floating there. People online lost it. Some say it's a cloaked UFO, only visible when the lightning lights it up. But because of the lack of information around this clip, it's difficult to say anything for sure. Strange light objects. This next clip was filmed last year in America, but surfaced last month that recorded a very peculiar sight. Back in October of 2024, a beachgoer filmed a bright white streak flying towards the clouds with flashing orbs right next to it. And that's not all.
Video. What the
It was recorded just 3 miles southeast of Haulover Park, Miami. And when the bright white streak went by, dozens of other white orbs were caught chasing after it. After a few seconds, these mysterious white orbs made a weird formation, and slowly more and more of these orbs started appearing that weren't there before. I counted a total of 32 orbs that flew across the sky before disappearing. Just like last year, this footage still has no human explanation, because netizens believe these were alien UFOs. Cross in clouds. Above an airport in Brazil, a passenger recorded a glowing cross in the clouds that was illuminating the night sky just like a moon. Although the exact location is not known, the cross being above the airport does have a disturbing reason behind it. The cross was glowing so bright that even though the person was more than 100 miles away, it could be seen quite clearly. And the airport it was seen on top of had 2 of its planes malfunction with no survivors in just 1 week. People in Brazil believe this was a sign from God blessing the people. But it doesn't end there, as the same cross was seen in Alaska just 2 weeks ago. This time the cross was much higher, and due to the snow and fog, it wasn't as clear. Yet the shape couldn't be mistaken for anything other than a biblical cross. UFO mothership lights. On the night of July 28th, 2,023 lights could be seen glowing behind the clouds that slowly lined up into a triangle. At first, they looked random, but the more you watched, the more the lights moved like they were following a plan, not just drifting like normal clouds or planes. The shape matched so many UFO stories. A dark triangle with lights at each corner, moving together like parts of one big machine. It didn't look natural, and it didn't move like any plane people around there knew. Biblical angel UFO. A clip from Brazil popped up showing something that looked straight out of a legend. A glowing arch in the sky with a bright orb sitting right at its center. The whole shape lit up like it didn't belong to this world. Steady, smooth, and totally unnatural against the clouds. People in the paranormal groups lost it. Some called it a drone stunt. Others said it looked like biblically accurate angels. Whatever you call it, the sight was quite intense. Mysterious night sighting. Right above a mountain in the town of Asheville, North Carolina, USA, a man was filming the night sky when he caught something truly unusual. He was trying to just capture the storm that was rolling in, with lightning flashing across the horizon. But then, a sharp beam of light appeared at the far end of the sky. It darted toward the storm before vanishing, only to reappear again moments later. The beam kept showing up, and it didn't look like it was coming from above, but actually a strong source of light from the mountain towards the sky. With so many mysterious sightings reported across America lately, was this just lightning or something far stranger? Strange footage.
What the It's magic. Like, please.
A TikToker, Sophia Anna from Billings, Montana, was casually cutting up sponges and tossing them into a basket when something downright bizarre started happening. Each time she dropped one in, the sponge would float right back out, landing on the floor like it was being thrown out by a mysterious force.
Please. Please go back into the box.
And what makes it even stranger is that she doesn't post this type of content. She does makeup, traveling, and sometimes cosplays as a bunny because her TikTok is called Anya Bunny. But in this video, one after another, the pieces seem to disobey all physical laws. And since sponges don't produce static, that rules out the possibility of repulsion, which is why this footage remains unexplained. Unknown object. The clip you're watching right now is very strange, because as the video begins, it looks like a humanoid figure hovering over the horizon, quite far away from the person recording. Since the uploader provided no information, we can only use the visuals to come up with explanations. After 30 seconds, the cameraman zooms in, and it doesn't look like a humanoid figure at all, but rather like a massive, tall, flying craft shaped like a kite. And on the right side, a white glowing orb can also be seen. And then it gets even more mysterious when that orb flies around and closer to this unknown object in the sky, followed by both of them flying into the clouds and disappearing, which proves it was indeed a craft, but unlike anything ever built by humans. So, what do you think it was? Frozen bird mystery. Recently, a fascinating video from Pokhara, Nepal surfaced online and quickly went viral. In the clip, taken around midday, a bird can be seen hovering in the air, completely motionless. Its wings are outstretched as if caught mid-flap, yet it isn't moving forward or falling. It's as though time itself froze around the creature. Many call this type of moment a glitch in the Matrix, a way of describing unexplainable events that seem to bend the rules of reality. Watching the footage, it doesn't look like a trick of the camera. However, it is possible it was stuck in some thin wire. But even when the cameraman zoomed in, no wire or cable was visible. Branch in midair. So here's a weird one. Someone filmed what looks like a random branch just floating in the air. No wires are visible near it either, and I have an answer to that as well for anyone that says the wires might not be visible. It was just stuck in midair, like a glitch in the Matrix. And honestly, it kind of feels that way. And for those saying it was probably stuck on some wires, and the only wires that are that high are electric ones. Then, look at this visual right here. If it was stuck on those wires, current would have caused a similar reaction, so this visual doesn't make sense. Unidentified air phenomenon. This footage was recorded on the 14th of September 2025, when a group of UFO hunters went out into the sea from Miami Beach. On their way, they captured a huge disc-shaped object in the sky that was covered by a cloud. At first, it looked like a dark cloud, but when they got close, the shape was unmistakable. Now, of course, not everyone agreed with the video titled "Huge UAP Sighted in the Sky," but those that do believe aliens exist pointed out no other cloud was dark. The sky looked almost empty, and the shape of this object was too obvious. What do you think? Gigantic OVNI. Just like the one before, someone from Tlaxcala, Mexico, uploaded a video of what they believe was a UFO hidden in the clouds. But unlike the one before, this was caught inside of a city, was much closer and clearer. However, I do not think this was a UFO, but it could be a rare or strange cloud phenomena caught on camera. The lower part is darker, but the saucer-shaped cloud has multiple layers that look similar in size and shape. So this one might not be of aliens hiding in plain sight. Sparks falling from sky. Captured near the woods of Oklahoma, USA, a woman enjoying the video from her house saw hundreds of sparks mysteriously falling from the sky. It was in April of this year, and you can even hear these sparks making a sound as they fell down on the ground. Listen to this. These were all around the wooded area, and since the video was so strange, it got a bunch of views. People commented that it could be fireworks, but fireworks during April make no sense, as no such holidays are celebrated. No electric wires can be seen, so that's not possible. But one very interesting comment pointed out it could be white phosphorus, which is highly reactive to air. But that just leaves us with more questions. How did it get into the air? Did someone drop it from the sky, and why? What do you think? Floating house. People online were left shocked and confused at a video showing a house in the middle of the sea. TikTok user and commercial fisherman from Everglades City, Florida, Shannon Dudley Jr. spotted a roof of a house floating in the Gulf of Mexico. From his boat, he filmed as the roof bobbed up and down. The roof looks intact, but the condition of the rest of the house is not visible in the video. So people started commenting on his video, and a number of people said that it was a church that is seen in the Palmetto area. But that was never confirmed. A few said it could be a houseboat, which is commonly seen in Florida, but even after a year, no official explanation has been given. Sky split. This unbelievable sight literally shows the sky being split in half, and then as the seconds roll by, the sky can be seen trying to come back together. There were people all over the area recording this astonishing incident, and people online that only saw a part of the video could not understand what was going on here. As confusing as it may look, this one on our list today does have an explanation. Yes, the clouds did split in half, but it was done by Antonov AN-225, Maria in Ukraine. Since it cut through the clouds, a huge gap was left in between, causing this surreal sight. Stuck tree mystery.
Just randomly in the middle of the forest, in the middle of nowhere, this... I don't even know.
Stephanie and her husband Adam were jogging through a dense Oregon forest when they came across something that didn't make sense. A massive tree trunk was shoved straight into the middle of the trail, standing upright like someone hammered a pole into the ground. And the surrounding area was also very baffling. Branches were scattered and marks all over the ground, but only near this tree in the middle. She showed other trees, but they were completely untouched. Nothing could explain how this tree was in the middle so perfectly upright, except a pretty wild theory that it was deliberately done by Bigfoot as a warning sign, which only makes it more shocking. However, since there is no other explanation at the moment, Bigfoot theory isn't too far-fetched. Unbelievable phenomenon. High above the clouds, a pilot flying over Bay of Bengal suddenly spots something incredible. Beneath the aircraft, the clouds start flickering with strange flashes of light, almost like lightning, but not quite the same. Then, out of nowhere, a beam of light shoots upward through the clouds, piercing the sky. It looked like an alien beam going into space, but as wild as it seems, this has a real explanation. What the pilot witnessed is called a Sprite, or sometimes a blue jet. These are rare electrical discharges that don't strike downward like normal lightning. Instead, they shoot upward, from the ground towards space, usually over massive thunderstorms. Scientists only managed to confirm their existence fairly recently, because they're so brief and so hard to catch on camera. Glitching moon? A guy was filming the moon and zoomed in, and then the whole thing went weird. The moon suddenly looked flat, like a kite shape. Then its outline glitched, and the color shifted toward pinkish red. It didn't behave like a normal crescent or shadow, and the shape wasn't making any sense. So when this video was uploaded on YouTube, there were some interesting things that people said. The first one was a camera glitch or compression effect. However, some got a bit more scientific and pointed towards maybe some sort of weird atmospheric effects. But you see the picture. It's obvious no one knew how to explain any of it, so the clip remains unexplained. Hovering tree. Here's something that makes zero sense. A tree just casually moving down a street in a quiet neighborhood. And last I checked, trees don't exactly come with legs or wings to help them get around. Some people online are saying this might be a drone carrying it, but that doesn't really add up. The tree is pretty big, and the video shows calm weather, no heavy winds, nothing that could explain it shifting like that. Plus, if you've ever seen a drone, you know they're not strong enough to haul something this heavy. What makes it creepier is the way the tree moves. It doesn't look natural, almost like it's gliding instead of being pushed. The clip remains unexplained. Moving house. This clip from Ukraine looks normal at first. You see a house across a green field, but then it starts moving. The house was gliding across the entire field, and the person recording was absolutely stunned. But let me tell you something really shocking. This isn't a house at all. It's actually an army tank that's been disguised to look like one. The idea of something so big hiding in plain sight is unsettling. Imagine thinking you're looking at someone's home, only to realize it's a piece of military machinery creeping through the field. That's next-level camouflage. Bosnia bird blockade. Late one night in Bosnia, a group of friends were driving when they suddenly had to stop. Right there in front of them, the road was completely packed with birds. Not flying, not scattering like you'd expect. Just standing there, filling the street as if they owned it. Some were strolling around, others just stood still, staring straight at the car's headlights. It wasn't just a couple either. We're talking hundreds of them, all gathered in one place at the same time. And the weirdest part? This was in the middle of the night. Birds aren't supposed to hang out on the ground like that, especially in those numbers. Nobody really knows why they were there. Some think it could have been something in the environment. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Mice on road? A family was soaking in the mountain views when something strange caught their eye. Tiny white figures zipped across the road, darting one after another as if a pack of mice was racing downhill. It looked so real. The family could barely believe what they were seeing. Dozens of these mice were running across the road and seemed like they were going downhill. But here's the twist. It wasn't mice, but actually pampas grass, swept up by the wind and rolling so fast that it created the perfect illusion of tiny animals on the move. Horse magically appears. At first, the clip seems pretty normal. You see two horses slowly making their way toward the person holding the camera. The road behind them is clear, nothing unusual in the background. But then, just a few seconds later, things get weird. Out of nowhere, a third horse suddenly appears, right behind the black one. It wasn't visible when the clip started, and there's really no place it could have come from. That's what makes this so confusing. Some people think it's just a camera glitch, while others believe it's an illusion caused by perspective. But still, the timing of that sudden appearance makes the whole thing feel a little unsettling. Straw moving itself.
So I see this straw moving around. I'm just sitting here at the school. There's a ghost in here or what?
When I said I have baffling moments for you, this is what I meant. This person had just finished their milkshake when out of nowhere, their straw started mysteriously moving on its own. You can clearly see that the cup was empty and placed inside a cup holder, so we can rule out it was being moved from the bottom. Even when we zoom in, no fish wires can be seen either. If the cup was filled with liquid, we could say it has something to do with buoyancy or carbonated drinks. But this was neither of those two things. It's empty and a milkshake, making this moment really confusing and kinda scary. Birds glitching in coop.
What the Why are they all not moving?
This clip just gets weirder. A bird farmer walks into her enclosure, probably just checking on her flock like any other day. At first, the birds scatter, flapping and chirping all over the place. Then, boom, everything just stops. The birds freeze in place. Every single one stands frozen, except for one bird in the middle, casually pecking at food like nothing's wrong. Of course, the internet called it a glitch in the Matrix.
What is happening right now?
And honestly, that's exactly what it looks like. But bird experts chimed in with a more natural explanation: tonic immobility. It's basically a defense mechanism where birds freeze when they sense danger, hoping to trick predators into losing interest. Maybe the sudden movement of their owner set them off. Or maybe, just maybe, they were reacting to something else nearby.
Why are they all not moving?
However I can, state with certainty what it is without any more evidence. Now it's time for the most unbelievable, most shocking and mysterious moment caught on camera as our subscribers' pick of the day. This unbelievable video shocked everyone that watched it for the first time. Captured on 23rd May 2025, a Utah homeowner, Jordan Brown, heard a loud thunder, but the skies were clear. So he started recording, and almost instantly, the camera picked up a strange thing forming in the sky. This mysterious glitch in the sky started spreading, and by now, Mr. Brown was very concerned. When it got really big, Mr. Brown turned around to record the sun, and this is what he captured. The same glitch had made its way towards the sun and started spreading just like before. Since it was in the middle of the day, there was no one else around, but if you look at those strange flame-like streaks, they look a lot like cracks. When Mr. Brown heard another thunderous clap, he got spooked and accidentally ended the recording, but wrote in the caption that once he looked back up, the sky had turned back to normal. This video is not only mysterious, but really strange. Thank you for watching.